option of just paying them some gold. It wasn't too much. It wasn't super expensive. It was more of a token, you think. But it's accepted by them, and you are let to travel back to the
Way
town.
back in 59,
Eventually get back
on a
to
teletype
Brimshanda,
machine.
machine.
Paper tape was rolling, gaming's first big dream. From pixels to consoles, you played them all. Every dungeon crawl, every boss made to fall. Joysticks, dice roll, strategies tight. Gaming all day and laughing all night.
I want to hear from you first. Tell her what has
The
gone
legend
on.
of the screen, rolling crits
advice
and
you
breaking
give
bits
well.
since gaming first
You've got
was
latitude
seen.
to act
From
what you
tabletop
think
to
is the best
pixel wars, you conquered every
can't make that
quest.
decision.
Retired but still
Trust you
wired,
enough
gaming
that
at your
you believe
best.
that you can make the correct decision.
D&D master,
what to do,
board
whether
game
you
king,
should
every
use
genre's
the,
yours, just pick a thing. Old school roots,
use
but the
the,
skills still fly, wrecking noobs while
machine to
sipping
make it
shy.
real,
Joysticks, dice
whatnot.
roll, strategies tight,
And,
gaming all
what
day and
it's
laughing
done
all
is that
night.
it makes
The legend of the screen, rolling crits and breaking bits since gaming first
but it does have
was
substance.
seen. From tabletop to
but it would
pixel
like to be made
wars,
in a
you've
real
conquered
version.
every quest. Retired but still wired,
You are
gaming
left
at
to
your
decide that
best.
for yourselves, and you can always go back that way.
Arcane
Then when you ask her, well,
thief,
what's your
sneaking
problem?
through
What
the
are your
vaults
issues?
like a
She
shadow
tells you that
chief.
she's
Battle cries
made
echo, the
Duergar
dice still
being
roll.
fought
A lifetime of gaming with a champion soul.
and questioned. He's now dead, so
Forever young at heart.
but the
Gaming's
answers that
in
they
your
got from
blood,
them
yeah, it's a
were
work
not
of art. The
very
legend
good.
lives on. Control
In fact,
in hand.
they hinted
Laughing,
at the fact that
adventuring
the
on.
Duergar are
Life's
now
great.
imminently waiting for something to happen, that they have received word that sometime soon something is about to happen, and that you now need to go and
Forever
deal
young
with
at heart.
the
Gaming's
leader
in your
of
blood, yeah.
and deal with
It's a
the
work
headquarters
of
of
art.
Duergar,
The
which you know is
legend
down
on.
in the
Controller
one world.
in hand.
You've been told that the best path to take is to go from Grimshanda, follow Ten Trail down, and then once you hit the river, follow the river in through the valley, almost to its head, and then just before you get to
Bathing
its head,
at your
you cut
best.
north again up a very a valley into where you believe the Duergar headquarters is located. So you make your way, you get yourselves prepared, you go and see Knock Knocker and you get a couple of things and you get some potions, get some equipment, and then you make your way out of Grimshanda on Ten Trail down to the river. You cross the river and you follow the river on the northern side into some forests that are there. And as you are traveling along the, well, it's not a trail, but along the banks of the river, you at first you thought it was just whispers in the wind. You could hear something, but it sounded a bit like whispers in the wind. And then suddenly your heads, and it gives Thrasher a headache. But there is a distress signal that comes out. It gets entered into your brain, and you hear the voices in your head in common saying, where is it? I've just got to find what it actually said.
I got a note from my friend Jinky that says, ignore voices in your head.
Yeah, because you don't want to jump into pools of acid. The message says, oh, where is it? I had it a second ago, and now I've lost it.
Something about Cyprus.
Yeah. I just wanted to get it right. Here we go. Nautiloid down. Emergency protocols enabled. Crew safe, but vessel imperiled. Tie crystal needed. Come at once. And then it pauses, and 30 seconds later, you hear it again. Nautiloid down. Emergency protocols enabled. Crew safe, but vessel imperiled. Psi crystal needed. Come at once. It's almost as if it were a recording playing over and over and over again. And it is giving Thrasher a headache. And the rest of you are getting a little annoyed. But from what you can tell of the message, it looks like, and I've drawn the arrows on the thing, you are heading in the direction of the arrow. It was quiet up until you hit this point, and then suddenly it became loud, and you think that that is because you have come within a certain range. I'll let you know for free that you have worked out too that you can triangulate it by moving around and finding where it gets weaker and where it gets stronger, so that you can get the proper direction that you need to go. You also realize that maybe the signal was a lot stronger and it is now weakening, which is why you only heard whispers up until recently. Perhaps it was covering a much broader area previously, but seems to probably be getting weaker. And that is where we left it.
If we rescue these guys, can I kill that one?
Kill the one that's doing that? Yeah, it seems to be a recording.
Well, then I'm going to smash the recorder.
The intonation is exactly the same every single time. It's as if somebody had hit a record button and then looped it. Let me just start the AI.
Didn't we get the psi crystal from the skeleton of
You did.
mine, wherever the Iliad or
Yep.
Illithid or
Illithid, yes, you had. If you remember, you had gone up into the caverns in Lonelywood, the mines, from Lonelywood. And there was the ice kobold tribe that had moved in there, and you had to broker a deal with the local miners and the kobolds to try and get everybody to work together. Down the bottom of the mine, there was a cavern in which you had found a skull which was embedded into the rock face, and inside that skull was a psi crystal, a purple glowing crystal. You had gathered that crystal and taken it with you. Nobody had actually decided to use it. But you did realize the skull was that of a illithid, or a mind flayer. And
well, should we try narrowing down the direction?
Yep. You also realize too, through your collective knowledges and discussion once you get the message, that the message is indeed that the ship, which is a nautiloid, is and was originally, they were created by mind flayers, but many creatures use them to travel through the astral plane now. So it's not just mind flayers, although they were the ones that originally created this. So
we know this.
Yes,
collectively we put it together
collectively you've put it together that yes, mind flayers originally created the nautiloid, and they do mention nautiloid down. And when you discuss, what does that mean? One of you in your history sort of remembers reading somewhere or hearing a story from someone elder or something like that about the fact that nautiloids were originally designed and created by mind flayers for traveling the astral plane. But now they're used by many different creatures and travel the astral plane. They're the ship of choice for traveling the astral plane by lots of races. So it doesn't necessarily mean it is mind flayers. But there is a bit of a chance that it could be. Can't rule it out. Exactly.
All right, let's narrow down the direction. I'm going to take my elk and saddle it up,
Yep.
and I'm going to ride down to here.
Which way? Sorry. Yep. That you can. Are you going to do it as a party, or are you going to do it individually?
I was just going to ride my elk down there.
Okay, you can do that. As you ride down that way, you think that it once you get sort of down here, it's a little bit louder, but it hasn't gotten as loud as if you were traveling directly towards it.
Right, so if we come down here.
Okay, again, it's louder down here. It is louder, but again, you think that maybe it is probably you're starting to get softer as you head down towards these trees here. So you've probably gone past it.
Here.
Yep, it's starting to get louder. Indeed. In fact, this valley seems to be that in this mountain here seems to be a like concentrating the noise a little.
All right, where's the rest of the party?
They're probably traveling down along the river. Let me move the arrow so I can grab the party token. And yes, it's getting louder as you travel down the river.
Here.
Sorry, I missed that ping. Yeah, it's starting to get definitely louder. Going up the mountain valley, finally ahead of you, you trudge up this mountain valley, and an eerie glow ahead of you suddenly appears through the fog and rain and other things that are going on, the sleet that is going on, because it is a little overcast and slightly sleety. Not enough to worry about travel, but it is enough that it's reduced your visibility down to only about 400 or 500 feet. And just ahead of you, up about 500 feet away, you can see an eerie glow and the monstrous outline of something stupendous and ominous. It looks a bit like an arch, but you're not sure.
Oh.
And as the party catches up, heads up the valley with you, and you approach it slowly. You can now, as it sort of comes into more of us into view, as you get closer and are only a couple of 100 feet away, it looks a bit like a huge snail. And when I say huge, I'm talking about a 3-story tall building, huge, with slimy, big, ropey tentacles about as thick as tree trunks that has tried and seems to have failed to bury its immense bulk into the snow. They are not working at the moment, or are not flailing around at all. The cephaloid itself appears to be just
where the signal's
lying
coming
on the ground. And yes, it is indeed
There's
a
something
signal.
There's something you don't see every day.
And as you approach, and as you get to about 100 feet away, let me just
I'll
bring
dismount.
This up. Yep, you can dismount. Where did I put my map?
So this is a living thing?
Well, nautiloids, as you have surmised, are supposed to be living ships.
Ah, okay.
There's my map. Sorry. Okay. My wife's going to a medical conference today, so I've got my dog just took him for a walk before the game, but he's still annoying me. Go and lie down. Go on, lie down. Good boy. Yeah. Boy. All right.
Ahoy the ship.
You get to about, say, 100 feet away. Let me just get this map up for you and put you on the map in the right spots. You are a bit ahead. You've probably left your carriage behind and your elk behind a little bit as you are approaching the Nautiloid. There is a ridge of ice between you and the Nautiloid, and you're about to climb up this short ridge which leads towards the Nautiloid. I'm just trying to get the right placement. Why is that not working? Who am I missing? Acheron should be out there, and Om should be out there. That's who I'm missing. Why is not Om out there? Where is Om? There he is. Om there. Okay. And no wonder I can't find it. Right spot. All right. Okay. I will put you on the actual map. Ahead of you, where it is. Right spot. Ahead of you, there is this ridge here, which you have to climb up, and there is above there, just off the edge of the map, is the Nautiloid ship, and you need to climb this ridge.
All right, put on the
And you trudge towards the ridge. Thrasher, give me a perception roll.
Come on. $16.
Okay. Yeah. At the top of the ridge, buried under the snow, is a pile of something. You think, just as you are approaching the ridge to climb the ridge, it's only about 10 feet high, so it's not like a huge climb, but it is a little bit of a climb. Certainly something up on top, and you see, well, you think you see for a moment, you see some movement. What do you want to do?
How thick is the ridge?
The ridge is quite a thick ridge. It's a rock ridge.
Okay.
It's well, you're sort of heading up a valley, so you've been climbing up a couple of small ridges. The most of the ridges so far have been small enough that you've been able to find some sort of snowy ramps that you could bring the elk and your trailer up. This one, however, you don't think you could get your wagon up. It is about 10 feet tall,
And
made of rock.
Is it vertical?
It's not quite vertical. It's probably at about a 50 to 55 degrees steepness. So it is quite steep.
I can cost down a rope. Did I think I saw movement on the face of the ridge?
Yes, not at the base, at the top. So you're at the base at the moment. You'd have to climb up. This is the top here, and the Nautiloid is off the map down here.
So I'll put on the climber's kit and climb up.
All right, and as you do,
fly up there with.
Yep.
Show off.
Well, in that case, I am going to go initiative, please.
Have I done that?
It's what we
All
get
your
for.
magic items is all.
It's what we get for trying to help somebody.
Yeah.
We
Let
gotta
that
figure out
be a
what we're
warning.
fighting first. I love it. I get a +6.
He still got an 8. Oh my gosh.
Hey, at least you
Trent,
rolled your
Acheron,
wisdom
Gilmore,
stove the other
Bud,
day.
all 4 of you. Let me
Yeah, that was a
order that
bonus.
sending.
But it is
Acheron,
so
you're
that
watching. You've sent Om up the top. What you see is bursting out of the snow 2 rather huge creatures.
Carrion crawlers.
Which look like this. They are indeed carrion crawlers. They are
Being out here
not.
in the snow.
Yeah, you're wondering why they would be out here in the snow, but certainly they are rushing towards you. And Acheron, let's just go without surprise. Acheron, what are you doing? They come bursting out of the snow.
Are they gonna be put on the turn order?
They are on the turn. Oh, in fact, I should make this carrion crawler go first.
I
yeah.
don't see them on the turn order.
you
They
shouldn't
are
have
there.
asked.
Let me refresh.
You
Yeah,
should have
refresh
kept
because they're
quiet.
there. As this
Quiet
carrion
about it.
crawler comes rushing down and
There
crawls
they are.
down the slope and gets to here and sort of halfway in between Gilnor and Om, and uses its tentacles, and in fact it doesn't even get so close, it gets to here, and then it
doesn't use
lashes
it
out with
in
its
the-
tentacles.
So they have a range 10 or something.
Yes, they do have a range of 10 feet. It's going to lash out at you, Gilnor, first. Oh, wait. I need to change this to a... Where's roll advantage?
In the old
Yeah,
AD&D, this was a very low-level
I need to
monster with a
switch.
lot of attacks.
Oh, right. It lashes out at you with its tentacles. Well, I think that's a hit there against you, Gilnor.
No.
26? I was going to say, oh my god, what have you done? You got a double shield or something like that.
I got, okay, so.
So because you're resistant to poison, you only take
I
3
think-
points of damage from the poison. You can give me a DC 13 Constitution saving throw with advantage because of your dwarven aspect. You are fine. You are not poisoned. But with that, it has tried to grab you, and then it kind of moves across the ridge to here, and then is going to bite at Om, but miss completely as Om lands on the...
Draconic essence poison at the moment. My character.
Okay.
That gives
Resistance to poison. And you.
him upgrade. I will double check that.
Double check that.
Anyway.
It looks like these creatures, it's sort of hanging off the edge of the rock face. You think that they have some spidery climbing ability because it just doesn't seem to worry about the fact that it's halfway down a cliff face. Whereas for you to get up above is going to be difficult terrain.
Is it at the top of the ridge or at the bottom?
This one is kind of halfway up and down. It's sort of spanning between the top and the bottom, and just like a big sort of centipede kind of thing. It's just sort of run over, and it's sort of halfway down. It's reached out with its tentacles to try and grab you, Gilnor, smacked you with them, but then also run over and to try and bite Om. But that's it. Acheron, what are you doing?
Right. Back. And
You can.
8.
28 will hit. Which one are you doing? The one next to attacking Om?
Yes.
The nearest one.
Yep.
Well,
Yep. Yeah, just double checking. All right. 28 definitely hits. 17 also hits. So far, 15 points. And another 9. Does Hunter's Mark go on? Yes. Fine.
Oh.
Okay. That's you, Thrasher. You come running over. Now, technically, you were here. Is that correct?
Yes, he was there a moment ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
This one lashes out with its tentacles as you move out of its threatened range, but it still misses you.
All right.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
What a shitty rule.
That's your damage.
Yes,
I want your attack roll.
I did. It's right above.
Oh, yes, I didn't see it. Yes, sorry. I looked at my attack roll and thought, well, you haven't given me one, but you have. You did hit definitely, and 6 points of damage. The 13, however, is not a hit.
Right. But he gets the lightning damage.
Yes, give him the lightning damage.
And I think he gets it twice, once per attack, right? Let me see what it says.
Is it per hit or per attack?
Well, that's what I'm looking at.
Thrasher. That is
You gain benefits. You gain resistance.
Target takes 1d6 lightning damage on a failed save. Target, whatever you can see in your aura.
Yeah, I think it's per attack.
It's only once.
Okay.
No, it doesn't say when this effect you can choose one creature other that you can see within your aura. They must make a dexterity saving throw. So that would be a once per round, not per attack. So they can give me the dexterity saving throw.
1 point.
Which they pass. So, well, minimum damage 1.
All right.
All right.
That was
And then Bud, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'll fire a fireball, and I will fire it to the south and a little bit to the west, so that it doesn't hit it one of us, but only.
Okay, you're going to do a fireball.
Don't know
That
how
fireball
you
template out. I forget.
I'll fire it.
Like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly like that. Cover them, but not
Yeah.
anybody else.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Like, and even out of.
Yep. All right. So the fireball goes off. Let me just put that away as it disappears. Roll your fireball attack, and both of them can make a save. Let me do
3-1.
applied damage, dexterity save. It DC 15. It damage is 23. They for half. And neither of them pass. And both of them are burnt quite a lot. In fact, one looks like it is almost down with that. Anything else from Bud?
No, that's my turn.
All right.
I would like to send in Audi. It's just not on the map. But I always send in Audi. I'll send it into the
Yep.
most damaged one.
I'll put Ali. Sorry, I forgot to put Ali out. I'll put Ali out. There we go.
And provide help to the first attacker.
Next attack. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So that's your turn. The carrion crawler, this one here. The first thing it does is it tries to use its tentacles on Om. 21 will hit for 3 poison damage. Give me
He's immune.
a saving throw. Is he immune?
Actually, I checked. And I'm resistant.
Okay. No damage. You take no damage. And you automatically pass your check. He will also run down here surround you all, and Gilnor. No, I've already attacked Gilnor once, so Thrasher. It is going to bite at you because you tried to run away from it. And I think that will hit you, Thrasher, for 8 points of piercing damage.
4 points. Oh no, I did. I forgot to rage.
Yeah. You didn't rage, yes, so you take 8 points. Gilnor, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm still within his threat range, right?
Oh, absolutely, yep.
I'll rage now because I have a bonus action.
You can do that on your turn.
Right.
You can't do it now.
All right.
There's a 16 here.
A 16 does hit, yes.
So he will take
6
points of damage. And then I will get 2 attacks, so I'll attack again.
That is enough, actually, so you don't need to attack again.
Oh, well then I'll move back and attack the other one.
Which will hit for another 10 points.
Trying poison.
Yes, you may indeed. Let me just... They give poison, they're not necessarily good, so... Used strike for an extra 3 points of... Is that poison damage?
That is.
Yes, okay, so that's poison damage, so... Take some damage.
Does it look like it was less than expected?
No, it doesn't actually. Even though it does have poison on its tentacles, it seem to be resistant to poison.
Okay.
Anything else from Gilnor? You've swung twice.
Okay. Swung twice. Okay, I will.
Okay. Acheron.
Right. Take a bite.
Yep. Oh, that'll hit. 8 points. Yep. You couldn't mark it as a favourite foe last time because you did Hunter's Mark. Oh, favourite foe is a free action. Oh, that's right. Forgetting.
Reaction. Anyway, 11.
11, it does not hit. 15 does. Favourite foe and Hunter's Mark plus the piercing damage, 14 points. That is indeed enough. as that one collapses to the ground as well.
Anyone want to cut them open and have a look at what they've been eating?
No.
All right. I'm a ranger.
could
I
do
want to
that.
cut one up and see what's. I can see what they've been eating out here where everyone's starving.
My question
Yep.
is, did they come from the ship? Or was there a purpose for them being out here?
Well, my
you don't
thinking
know.
is if they've been eating, whoever has been on the ship might get a hit up. Live on.
It's very clever. Anyway, huntsmen have a tendency to do things.
Cut away.
Cutting.
Yep, cut away. Give me a survival roll. Yeah, you cut away and you have a look inside. It looks like they've been fed. Well, you can't see any whole creatures, that's for sure. The mush that's inside them almost looks like dog food.
Okay, I'm climbing back up to the top of the ridge.
All right, you climb back up to the top of the ridge.
And I'll throw a rope
and
down
you
and
can
anchor it.
now throw a rope down for everybody else to get up. It's not that difficult a slope. It just still takes you just a couple of seconds of climbing to get up the slope. It's a little bit slippery, but with the rope, you don't even need to make a check. You can all get to the top of the slope. You now see the Nautiloid about 50 feet ahead of you.
Ahoy, the ship!
You call out and you get no reply. Not at this point in time, anyway.
It likely needs the crystal in order to communicate.
Oh, I'm shouting to the crew, not the ship.
I'm talking to you.
So I'll keep moving forward.
I wonder what that psi crystal does.
I never played Spelljammer, but it would be logical. I mean, it is complaining about the lacking crystals, missing crystal.
No, that was a crew member.
All right.
Unless the Nautiloid speaks in the third person.
Okay. So in this case, I got that wrong.
Ahoy, the ship!
You get kind of a bit closer to a point where you're just outside the range of tentacles. Let me move you onto a different map now. This blackness over here is just other decks, so don't worry about it. It's just plain snow out there. The map is not in a good way, but you're approaching the ship. You can see the tentacles lying on the ground. You can see that the deck itself is slightly canted to the south at a slight angle, not enough to hinder movement, not enough that it would be hindering movement while you're on a board, but it certainly would be enough for liquids or anything that could roll down to the southern side or the port side of the ship.
Are the tentacles moving?
Down here. The tentacles themselves are not moving. The ship itself is 1, 2, 3 stories, at least 3 stories tall. Each story being between about 20 feet in height. The top story you think is probably even taller, maybe about 40 feet in height. So overall, this section here, where you can't see is inside the deck is quite tall. There is a deck above this, upon which you can see an opening, a slight opening, leading inside, but and there are some ballista and sitting on the decks themselves. The Nautiloid itself is not moving and seems to be half buried in the snow, meaning that to climb up onto this deck here is at least about a 5 to 6 feet climb. So the bottom part of the ship is partially buried in the snow, or at least most of the hull is buried in the snow. The tentacles appear to be laying on the snow itself. There does not appear to be any movement on deck.
So if I take a snowball and throw it at a tentacle, does the tentacle twitch or move or anything?
Are you going to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, you take a snowball, you throw it at the tentacle. Give me a perception roll. You can all give me a perception roll.
I don't perceive. Neither does that. Neither does Thrash. Come on, bud, it's up to you.
But it's up to you.
Alan,
You throw a snowball,
Alan.
and the snowball, give Ali a perception roll. The snowball smashes against the side of the tentacle, and you're not sure whether you saw a twitch or not, because when the snowball hit, it exploded and particles of snow go everywhere, and you're not sure whether underneath that you saw the tentacle actually twitch or not. It's unknown.
Was there
it
any
didn't
response?
slide around or anything. So.
Is there any response to my hail?
You yell out again, and you see on the deck, and there is a railing above the deck, so it's not only is it 5 feet up to the deck itself, but it's another railing, which is only about 2 foot tall, in fact, which is rather strange because it's not a very tall railing, which is too short for the average person to be a railing to protect them if they are, supposedly these things can fly. Mm-hmm. So you'd think that the railing itself should be probably 5 or so feet tall to make sure that the average human could stand up against it and not fall over it very easily and actually lean on it without falling.
So it's
this railing is like 2 foot. Yeah, it's hobbit sized. It's probably gnome sized rather than humanoid sized railing. And you also know that Illithid, having seen the skull, and from your talks previously and knowing what you know of them, they are at least on average 6 foot tall creatures about. Right. So they're actually reasonably tall. So this sort of seems kind of weird that there would be only a 2 foot tall railing on this deck and on all the other decks as well. It would be almost like a 6 foot tall creature would trip over that rather than be able to lean against it or anything like that if it was. And as you approach, you call out, one of these doors on the front of the deck opens up.
Hello.
Are we to understand that that the decks are open, at least on near the rim of the deck?
Yeah, this deck here is open at this point, so that's why you can see right up to this wall, which is an enclosed wall. The next deck up is also open. I think, do I have a handout? I think I do. Wait a minute, let me just see.
We heard your distress call.
And while Thresh is talking, Om's
We're here
We
to
are
help.
here to help.
You are here to help.
Dad, when you get a
We
chance,
are from the government. We are here to help. Yeah.
when you
Well,
get
now
a chance,
you're going to
take
get a
me out.
shot, bud.
When I get a chance.
Take
Sorry?
me out of Acheron.
Oh, right. Yes, I'll do that. I do have a handout. It's not as good as I would have liked, but it gives you a bit of an idea. These are the carrion crawler that you bought. And in the distance, you can see the nautiloid lying in the snow. And that was the ridge that you had to climb up just in front of these, just where these carrion crawlers are. And you then make your way across to the nautiloid. You can see that bottom deck. If you click on the picture, you can see there is like a bottom deck, and then an open area and a top deck. And in between, there is also a slightly opened deck halfway as well, which is above, a good 20 feet above the bottom deck. And that is the short fence, which is around the outside as well. You can just see that. It's only 2 foot tall.
Okay, so the
Picture
door
doesn't quite do justice, but
the door opened. Did somebody come out?
yeah, no, you didn't see anybody come out. And then peering between the rails of the things, you see this tiny little creature with beady eyes, and it almost looks like a baby illithid, like really small. And we're saying we're talking that this thing is less than 2 feet tall because it doesn't even reach up to the top of the fence that is surrounding the boat, and it puts its head through, and then you hear in your mind, you hear, "What are you doing here?"
We heard your call for help.
Oh,
You don't mind
You-
my asking, what are you?
uh, I, I'm a squidling.
Where do squidlings hail from?
I don't know. You'd have to ask. You'd have to
I-
ask somebody else. Perhaps the. I'm just looking for his name,
Are
sorry.
you a young squidling?
Oh yes, I'm a baby.
Oh, is there an adult around?
There is.
Can you get them for me?
Are you sure you're here to help? I could get into trouble for talking to you.
No, we're here to help.
Oh, okay. And he runs off. The door closes again. And how long are you going to wait? Because like a minute passes,
I'm gonna wait.
5 minutes pass.
Are we still hearing this thing in our head?
Yes, absolutely. Every 30 seconds, you're hearing the message.
Has Om noticed any movement? Now he's gone to.
Om can give me another perception roll, as in Om's investigating the tentacle. No, nothing. After about 10 minutes of waiting, the door opens once more. And stepping out, at first you see this huge 6 foot tall, fleshy kind of creature, stitched together from bits and pieces, almost like well, it is, in fact, a flesh golem. And it comes out and it stands on the deck. And it stands on the deck near the big trebuchet, which is not ballista, which is on the front of the ballista, which is on the front of the boat, and it just stands next to it. It doesn't touch it, but it's ready. And then strolling out comes this other creature, and he scrolls out, and he looks a bit like that, but he's not 6 foot tall. He's only just taller than the railing. He's about 2.5 feet tall. And he calls out and says, I believe you. I've been told that someone was out here. Didn't believe them at first, but I was so insistent.
We heard.
Is anyone? Oh my gosh. There are people out here.
We heard your distress signal.
Ah. Really?
Yes, we still hear it.
Good. Ah. Right, worked. Excellent, excellent. This
turn it off.
It's interesting because it's definitely some sort of illithid, but it's not the type of illithid that you have seen or heard about in any of your knowledges. This thing is gnomish in size. And it says, excellent, excellent. And it's talking directly into your head. It's not actually speaking. All of you can hear it. And it says, excellent. Well, if you're here to rescue us, he says something. Does anyone actually speak? I didn't check. Got to check. Does anyone actually speak deep speech? He says something to the flesh golem in deep speech. What he says when you understand him, and you can relay this to the others if you wish, is keep an eye on them. Let them approach.
So where do you guys come from?
We come from, well, a place called Earth.
Is it in this plane or is it in another plane?
He looks around, he looks at the sky and says, I'm pretty sure it's a different plane.
How did you get here?
Well, things went wrong and we kind of crashed. Had to make an emergency landing, come out of the ethereal plane, as it were, and this is where we ended up. Not on our own plane, but here. Crashed. Been trying to fix the ship, but it's able to be fixed at the moment. We're in need of a psi crystal.
Oh,
come on board. Come on.
We happen to have a psi crystal.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Come on board. And you can climb up on board. It is a little bit of a hike for you, Gilnor, because the deck itself is 5 feet up.
I'll give him a push.
You can, because you're only just 5 feet tall, so you're sort of reaching up to the top and then trying to pull yourself up. For Thrasher, it's you can stand at the edge and look over onto the deck quite easily, and it's just like hopping up. But Acheron, you can also climb
do a Legolas climb up the tentacle, flick up over.
Yes, you can do that, and you land. And as you do that, you hear a moan from the fresh golem, and you hear the xenomorph, gnome xenomorph, walk to the flesh golem and say, now calm down, it's okay, let them aboard.
Forgive me for asking, but are you related to mind flayers?
Yes, technically yes, but going back a long way. do have a history going back. Well, you see, we were created originally by the Illithid when they implanted the brains of a gnome into their tadpoles. And we became this derivative of them, but with many of the similar functions, but with gnomish attitudes on top of it. We were then dismissed, sent off, and have some ways now become our own individuals. We do work with the Illithid from time to time, but we're not of their ilk in the same way. You see something strange. Strapped to his side, there is a holster of some kind, in which you can see a weapon of, well, you suppose it's a weapon, but it has a handle with a grip. It has what looks like to be a trigger, which you would have on a crossbow, which you can pull, but the trigger is enclosed so that you would have to sort of squeeze your finger between and pull the trigger. There's a metal guard around it, and on top there is this funny gizmo which has some glowing lights, and at the front of it there is a kind of like a very thin cone with a ball on the end of it, almost a bit like a mini lightning rod. Yeah, it's really kind of weird. You've never seen anything like it before. And he says, "Well, welcome aboard. I'm Dredavex.
Rasha Swiftblade.
Very nice to meet you, Thrasher."
That's Gilnor. That's Bud. That's Akron.
And he bows and puts his head right down as he bows. Says, "It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Please, come aboard. You can meet. They're a bit shy sometimes, and they can get underfoot, but we have some squidlings, and you can also meet Vorin. Vorin is upstairs trying to make the ship run at the moment. I don't even know if he'd be aware you're here yet. Let me just check. No, he's not. And he's telling us that we should head up. And you can open the doors, and inside this area, what you see is attached to the walls of this chamber are 3 sets of chains and manacles designed to hold large creatures. There is a staircase which rises up to the next deck amid some crates, barrels, and broken bits of equipment. Among the detritus look like there are 3 other small creatures, purplish things that float above the ground and pull themselves across the floor, or were using their oversized face tentacles. You hadn't realized that that's how they moved before. There is also the flesh golem following you in from behind. As you go in,
Dredavex is actually walking?
Dredavex is actually walking, yes.
Okay.
Dredavex says, that's Rix, Rin, and the Glad.
Hello.
They are our squidlings. Please, come upstairs. Meet Born. And he leads you upstairs to the next deck. I'll put you on the next deck. You get up to the top here. The next deck itself, where you come out onto the next deck, up these stairs. Dredavex will come up with you, and he will Get up these stairs. There as well, bud. On this deck, you see this middle deck has an open cowl, and mounted on the deck is a forward-facing ballista. The walls are lined with ballista bolts waiting to be used. And he leads you upstairs.
When
Again.
I see that, Acheron will ask him about the carrion.
Oh.
Came across a couple. They've been a problem.
Oh, no. We had sent them out to guard. We had found them here. We had been feeding them and training them. Just sent them out just in case there were people to attack us. We were unsure. They do have a bit of a nasty habit of just attacking without question, but usually they will drag anybody that's back to us should they be needed. But unfortunately, we don't have full control over them. They're not the smartest of creatures.
Well, we're sorry to say you don't have any control over them anymore.
Really, no. We just they won't wander too far because we feed them, and they do guard and attack things. Many of the wild beasts here, we've been attacked by some wolves and a yeti and some a polar bear, in fact, at one stage. And the carrion crawlers have been very good at defending us against those creatures. We hoped that they would just let you guys through. Obviously, they didn't, but have really any control over their actions. Oh, well, I mean, how many did you encounter?
2.
2. Ah, well, then you have dealt with them both, I guess. Get some more if we can't get out of here and to protect us, but I'm sure we can find some somewhere. Yes. Well.
I was surprised to see them. I thought they were much smaller and less dangerous too.
I don't know about that. Never met them before. Anyway, this particular room that you're on, suspended from the ceiling of this high domed chamber, is a complex lattice of bioluminescent jellyfish that use their glowing tips of their tendrils to form constellations. A high-backed chair with a sort of armrest capped with a sparkling blue crystal orbs tilts upwards from the display. A panel on the starboard wall lies open, exposing pulsing tendrils of flesh embedded with crystal shards. Upstairs there is another of these gnomish xenomorphs, and he introduces himself and says, "I am Vaughn. Welcome to our ship." He is sitting in the chair and he's trying to communicate with you, as well as you think he is a bit distracted trying to communicate with something else as well. He also has one of these pistol-shaped things stuck to his hip, as well as a 6-inch long black metal rod, which has a button at the end of it. The helm itself is a chair which is securely attached to the deck. As you walk in, he says, "Are you here to help us? Do you have a psi crystal?" And you hear again that message replay in your head.
Can you turn that message off?
He goes, oh yes, just a moment. He turns in the chair, it swivels, and he leans over the thing and he pushes a couple of these tendrils, these glowing tendrils, and he pushes them, a couple in order, and then suddenly mid thing, it's shut off. Boom! It just is quiet. It says, sorry about that. I should have done that when I got informed you were here. I just totally slipped my mind. It doesn't affect us. Sorry. Yes. So you have a psi crystal.
Yes, we do.
Ah. Well. Can we have it?
We were sent here on a mission. We are the marshal in town. So maybe you could help us. Maybe you could provide for transportation. We have had good transportation for the local area, but we seem to be going out at greater and greater distances from the 10 towns. So it would be very nice for us if you would provide transportation.
We probably could do that. Yes. He sort of turns. Does anybody speak? Although no. They're obviously talking telepathically between themselves as they look at each other. And then they turn towards you and say, yes, we could provide some transportation for a short time if you've got a crystal.
Seems to me
And
that
then
would be
they
a
turn
very...
and they talk to each other just for a second again, and then he says, but we cannot transport all your cargo. The elk and other things that are out there that we have been told.
I'm gonna
Your
turn
carriage.
the button and say, where do you want them to transport us?
It is my perception that we know that there is a Duergar stronghold down here, not so far. And anyway, we tend to find new tasks to do all the time, so there could be other tasks ahead.
Of course, we will be able to provide some transportation, but we would like to, if we get the psi crystal, head back to our own world.
Yeah, that's very understandable, and respect that.
I suspect they're going to want to leave before we can deal
we
with
don't
the
commandeer your ships for forever, but it would be a great help for us. And remember, being the marshals, we are the good guys in this area. That supporting the
That
good
is yet
guys
to be
is a
seen.
good
We
thing.
don't know about this 10 towns and what marshals are. We don't have that where we're from.
No marshals. You have no
anyone that enforces.
Yeah,
Oh,
of keeping
of
the law.
course. But
Okay.
there are those that keep the law, but they're not called marshals.
Well, that's what they call them here.
Ah, I see. And this 10 towns you speak of, what is that?
It is literally 10 towns, 10 settlements.
10 settlements. Is that all there is on this world? We are very
No,
lucky.
that is definitely not all that is on this world. It is all that is in this forsaken area that is under some curse of an ice winter spell or something. But there are...
So cold?
Yeah, that's why. There are wondrous areas of all kind and terrible areas of all kind in this world. The terrible areas would maybe be such areas as being infected by demons and devils, whatever.
Bud obviously never heard the saying loose lips sink ships.
Very good. Well, look. He turns and he talks to his fellow again. Again, you know that you can understand that they are talking, but you cannot hear anything because they've not actually ever been talking out loud. They have been talking directly to your brains. And you get the feeling that they can either broadcast generally or individually should they wish to do so. And they are obviously talking between themselves for a short moment. And then they turn to you and say, well, we could, for example, give you a journey. If we can repair the ship, we could take you wherever you wish to go and give you some equipment, but then we would like to be on our way.
That's the best we can do. That's the best we can do. And anyway, we have to learn whether the crystal is worth anything. Anyway.
Oh, yes, please. Psy crystal. Do you have it?
The thing to remember, Bud, is if they take us somewhere, they're not going to take our ox. They're not going to take our wagon.
Yeah, they're not going to take your wagon.
They're only going to take us.
Which can't fit your wagon on the board.
Well,
they can't fit your wagon on board.
We could probably have them go by the 10 towns, so we could have one or more of us moving the wagon back, and then having the ship moving us, for instance. I think it's solvable. Also, they might be able to drive our coach. All the reindeers might be able to find their way back if we let them. I don't know. Let's think constructively, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, you can certainly try. Anyway, please, Psy crystal. He looks very excited.
We were sent
who
down
is
here.
Going to give them the Psy crystal.
I don't think I have it. I think actually Archer might have it, but technically we're one of the older members of the party.
Oh, that's all right. Someone will have it.
I'll give it.
I don't think nobody was using it, so it would be.
I thought
in
Thrasher had it, or no, we gave it to Archer. But anyway.
Archer's gone, so I got all his shit.
Okay.
Well, you got anything that was party treasure that he wasn't using, so you would have gotten the Psy crystal. Because he wasn't actually using that as the Psy crystal. He wasn't tuned to it or anything like that.
What am I supposed to do with these 3 skeletons in the bed?
3 skeletons? That's archers. They wouldn't come with
I
you.
know. Give him the crystal.
Yep. He's very excited. He grabs the crystal and looks at it and says, "Oh, a truly lifted Psy crystal. Very, very good. This is excellent. And he runs over to a panel in the wall and he pulls it open. And inside the panel, you can see there is pulsing veins, if you like, that are running up and down. And one of the veins ends in or actually several of the veins end where there are a little like a place where you can place something, and it is currently empty at the moment. And there are several veins which are still pulsing, but they are joined to it, and they don't seem to be pulsing very brightly at all. And then some of the other veins are pulsing quite brightly, and he says, "Yes, this one, we've had to take it out. It was broken in our crash." And he flicks a couple of metal clasps, which then fling open some like claw-like prongs, which open up. And he places the Psy crystal in the middle of that, and then he flicks the clasp again, and the claw-like prongs snap closed and grip the crystal nice and strongly. And then the whole thing sort of lifts slightly on some sort of metallic cylinder, and you hear this. But it's not actually metallic. It's not metal. It's almost fleshy. It's almost like a fleshy piston, if you like. And it pushes it up, and the tendrils which are hanging down start to attach to the crystal itself, and you see some pulsing lights start to get brighter and brighter. And he slams the panel closed, which is more like a flesh panel than anything else. And in fact, doors that you've come through are really weird, because the door, it's not a proper door. It was the door that you came through was more of a flesh orifice, which opened and closed, a bit like a sphincter, opening and closing on the front of the ship. It was really kind of weird. It was sort of like a hard flesh, not slimy or anything like that, but a hard flesh orifice which sphinctered open, allowing you to walk through, and then sphinctered closed behind you, giving you a really weird kind of sensation as you walk through it. But that was the only one you had to walk through, and now you can see when he closes the hatch, it almost is like a flap of flesh, sort of velcroing itself down again against the wall, and you no longer see where the outlines of the hatch are. And he runs back and sits in the ship, and you hear this. It's almost like a fast heartbeat going off. He says, good. Where? We're powering up. This is great. And you feel a slight rocking as you've been on a very small slope, because the ship itself has been sitting in the slow, slightly a kilter, only a couple of degrees, enough for you to realise that it's slightly a kilter, and if you were to drop something, it would roll to the edge of the deck. And now it just levels out suddenly, and you feel it rock.
Are we in open air, or are we in a...
No, you're not in open air, but this here at the front, which was kind of like a fleshy wall, suddenly becomes totally transparent, and you can now see through almost like a transparent membrane out the front. And he goes, good. This is better. Yes. And as you look out the front through that membrane, it's actually quite clear. And if you concentrate for a second, it doesn't zoom in a lot, but even you, without your abilities, without any abilities, as you look at something and you go, I wonder what that is, you can see the whole thing zoom in a little. It probably doesn't get twice as big. It probably only gets about 1.5 times as big. And you think that is like a magnifying glass, but a very low-powered one. And both the xenomorphs turn to you and say, it's reacting to you. That's a good sign.
Certainly is. May I suggest that when you are flying, you put a person on guard with that crystal? It seems to be the weak spot of the ship, and you could make a strong box lined with a lot of cloth or something inside, and you could, if you are crashing again, you could take the crystal out before the ship has reached the ground.
No. If we take the crystal out before the ship reaches the ground, we crash.
But you were.
The only reason we actually
Stop
survived
screaming, bud.
is because the crystal was in there. And its last act to save us was to crash land. And any crash that you can walk away from is a good crash. If the crystal had died beforehand, we would not be here, and the Nautiloid would be a total wreck.
Okay, duly noted. It's like a tree. Continue.
Yes. You can see now the tentacles out the front beginning to pulse and writhe slightly. And he says, yes, we have power. We will be able to lift off soon. I needed to do a few more preparations and some more minor repairs, but we are able to get underway very quickly. I guess some rewards are due. Well, where would you like to go?
Well, we've got to return our sleigh to Brimshander.
Yeah, we would like a detour first back to the 10 towns, and maybe you would like to be introduced to the speaker of the towns. So we could split our party, so some of us could go with you and some of us could go in the sledge. Because we want to return our sledge.
How long will it take you to get back to 10 towns in the sled?
What did it take us, like 2 days to get here?
Yep, thereabouts.
Yeah, about 2 days.
Not quite 2 days. Let's put you back onto the actual map of the region.
Yeah, we'll pull out the map and show it to him.
And you can show the map. You guys, let me show you where you are.
We're on the top of the
Here.
red line. Yes.
You are there. You are right there.
So you're gonna take the sled back to Bryn Shander, and then what are you gonna do?
And
We have a mission. We were sent
is-
on a mission. We weren't sent
Right,
to save.
but we're almost there, and now we're gonna go back to
Yeah.
Town or back to Bryn Shander.
Because I would like to keep hold of the ship for if
Right,
our mission
but here's what's going
they
to
said
happen.
they'll give you one trip.
They're going to drop us off, and then we're stranded out here without the sled.
Okay, forget it then. I thought I had
Yeah.
a better deal. I expected they would be willing to
You're
give
about-
us
You're
a far better
about
deal.
22 miles from 10 Towns,
Yeah, no,
which
we're
is
not-
going
we're
to take you the better part of a day's travel, particularly.
But-
The wilderness travel is slightly slower.
But-
It's
but
probably
as
only going to
pointed-
take you. Yeah, it's
as
a day's
po-
trip.
As pointed out, if the deal is as bad as I now perceive it to be, then it's a moot point.
Yeah,
So-
they'll give you one trip somewhere if you wish. Either that, or they can give you some rewards.
Take the
Rewards.
We'll
risks.
just take the rewards.
And they look at you and say, well, what do we have? What do we have? And they start to discuss with themselves, amongst themselves. And one of them goes to another part of the wall, and you see them run their hands down the side, and then this Velcro-like flap sort of opens up. They open it up, and inside you see a couple more of those pistol-like things. And he says, well, we have these. There's also one more of those 6-inch black metal rods with a button on top.
Well, what are they?
What is this?
And he looks at you and says, well, why, of course they're laser pistols. What do you think they are?
Seems obvious that they are some kind of wands and staffs, but
What's
that's
a-
fine.
What's a laser?
Laser? Well, I think it's best to show you. And he walks towards, let me put you back on the map. Where are we? ID descendant. Back here. He walks towards the front membrane and stops for a second, and then part of it seems to iris open. And while you could see through it, he steps out onto the balcony and says, come, watch. And he takes the pistol and he sort of holds it and puts his finger through the trigger guard, and he points out into the distance and pulls the trigger.
God damn it.
And you see a radiant beam fly out from the front of the pistol, almost like focused from the ball which is on top of the lightning rod, and just flies out into the distance and hits the snow, and a big mound of snow goes poof.
It looks fine.
How many times
so,
can you fire this thing before it needs
It's
to
just-
be
Well,
reloaded?
we unfortunately don't. To reload it, you need to plug it back in the wall there. There are 50 shots, however, in a fully charged pistol.
And what
and
about
you would
And how
need-
many of those? How many of those are you going to give us?
He looks back and says, well, we can spare a couple. Yes.
what about the black
Okay.
rods?
Oh, the black rod. Oh, well, I can't show you what that would do because, well, it would possibly knock you out. But, yes, you push the button and, well, if you're within a certain distance, from about here to the wall, and he points about 30 feet away and says, if you are within that range, and so long as you've got, so long as you can hear, well, the creature can hear, it sends out a rather loud chirp, which can incapacitate creatures.
All creatures within 30 feet other than yourself?
Well, other than yourself, well, yes, but it also must be a dumb creature. Those that are smarter don't get affected as much. It can be annoying, the chirp, but it's only for dumb things. It's kind of a little bit how we pacified the carrion crawlers.
And how does it recharge?
Incapacitated
Also
them
by
at
the
first, and
how
then
does it recharge? Also by socket or magical or some other way?
no, this. And unfortunately, these rods do have the chance that they can fail. They will work indefinitely, any number of times. They don't need to be recharged. It's just that eventually they do not explode, but just fizzle out, if you like, and become useless. Become just a rod, or beating people over the head with, I guess you could say. Never used that.
What makes it fizzle out?
Well, the mechanism that emits the loud chirping noises tends to break occasionally. It can be fixed, but you would need some very specialized equipment and tools to do that, and I don't think you would have those.
So we're not talking artificers.
He looks you up and down. He looks at your tools. If you show him your tools, he goes, "Oh, this might do, but oh no, you don't have. Oh, and you don't have one of. Oh, you don't have that. Oh,
Okay.
yes." And he sort of goes over to another cabinet and runs his hands down the side, and the fleshy bits unzips again almost, and he opens it up. And you look inside, and you can see an array of tools, many of which you have never seen before. They look like tiny watchmaker tools. You can imagine they look almost like a toy set of watchmaker tools. They're so small. But considering how big these guys are and their hands, they would be perfect for them. But it would make it difficult for you to use, and your tools as an artificer are way too large. Your tools are about 3 times the size of their tools, and so they kind of go, you can see the difference here, and he points to one of your tools and says, while this tool might be useful for your things, and he brings out his own tool and he compares it, it's like 1/3 the size. It's really small, it's very intricate and tiny, and he says, and I see you don't have this function, and he pushes a button on there, and a tiny little spark erupts from the end.
Okay, thank you so much for explaining. I appreciate the insight you have provided. I can see that you cannot.
You've never seen any tools like this before. Some of the tools that are in there, he obviously points to them. He says, "This is a solenoid flux capacitor tool. This is a resistor attacher. This is," and you've never even heard of these names. It's like, what's he talking about?
Flux capacitors are generally known, but the other things you're talking about, I haven't heard about them before. That's very interesting. Were you willing to part with all 3 items as reward?
Oh, yes, we could give you one of the rods and 2 of the pistols if you wish.
We certainly wish that. At the very least, the rod is a memento.
Who's going to have what? I don't have enough for one of each of you.
Who's our range fighter? Bud tends to big range.
Bud and Acheron are both ranged fighters, and if you can shoot a crossbow, you can shoot a pistol. So if you have if you have ability or what is it?
Weapon
proficiency. That's what I was going to say. A weapon proficiency with crossbow, or you have proficiency with the pistol. It uses the same type of aiming and
Bud, can you use it?
firing mechanism.
I could maybe, but Asheron could probably use it better. They can be used offhand also, so one of us could have two instead of two of us having one.
Using it offhand, unless you've got dual weapon fighting, your offhand shot would be without proficiency.
So, Bud, you do not have crossbow?
If you don't want it, I'll take it.
Well, I've got crossbow proficiency.
Then
as
you
well.
take it.
Okay.
All right, fine,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
All right, let me add a laser pistol.
I too. I should definitely suggest. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little disappointing that the second shot is worse, but I would still think that it's great to have two.
And may I ask one more boon from you?
Yes.
I would love to see the astral plane.
You'd love to see the astral plane. We could probably do that for you. Where is my? Why is that coming up?
So, you want them to take us to the astral plane and then bring us back?
Uh-huh.
The best trip basically we can make with the sort of lousy deal that they gave us. And anyway, it's a bonus because we already chosen the rewards instead of them giving us.
Yeah. This is, well, we can take a short trip into the astral plane, into the fringe. If we were to go much deeper, we might not be able to find our way back here.
Okay.
We definitely need to stay at the fence so
For
we can
whatever
find
reason,
our way
I
back.
can't seem to drag the laser pistol over onto your character sheet.
Aha, it's a 2024 laser pistol.
Yeah, it is. But it's not. There is also a 2014 version, but I can't find it. I don't know why.
Oh, I see it.
It should be as part of the Icewind Dale.
Given that from the future we should have the 24 version.
Well, I see a Dungeon Master's Guide laser pistol.
Maybe just the 2014 one or 2024.
2014.
I will drag that across onto your character sheet.
I got it.
And who else was dragging one? Because I don't know why I don't have it. It should be there. I think I need to restart my. I'm going to restart my Roll20 in a moment because for whatever reason I don't have it in my list. Sometimes it just means that it hasn't loaded yet. So let me see if I can find it now. It's already reloaded. Here's my new computer, is so good.
It'll shoot 50 shots, okay?
Yes.
Yes.
And it's basically a beam of radiant. Okay, so it's...
I don't have... Why don't I have 24? Unlock one.
Basically, you gave him a 20. He just saw it. Yeah, Josh would like to have the other one.
Yep, that's fine. I don't know why it's not coming up. I cannot seem to find it. And I can't find the rod either, which should be there. It's called a pacifier rod.
But we are not going to use them now, so you could drop them.
Yeah, I'll have to do them later because for whatever reason, I'm only getting the 2024 stuff and I'm not getting 2014.
I don't see anything past.
All right, let me. If it's already popped out, you just close it completely and then reopen it, and it will reopen it with inside the game.
Yeah, but
Oh,
If
you
I
just
right click it, pops it out. If I click,
okay. So go to the journals. And in the journals you should find the characters and just click on your character sheet, your name, and that will open your character sheet.
rather.
Yeah, and that will
That's
pop.
popping it out in a.
But is there not, if
Is that
you...
within? Is it popping it out on top of the map?
I can drag it off.
Oh,
but then you have separated it.
then so what you need to do, all right, I'll have to figure it out and drag it on there.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't drag it on there when it's popped out.
You can't drag it on here, and I can't seem to find. I don't know why. I had them before.
In my understanding, if you separate it, and I only half know how to do that, but if you separate it, then it is no longer linked to your token the same way as if you keep it as an overlay on the main map.
Yes, but you can close that and then
you redo the
reopen
process
it. It should,
without.
yeah, you should be able to close it. All right. Sharing. Yes, I'm sharing this game. Now why?
If it's in your...
It's in the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see that I've got the Dungeon Master's Guide selected.
If it's in its own window, Josh, then you should just be able to close that window and then pop it out again from the journal.
I do. Selected. I am sharing it.
Well, I see it, but then I've got it myself. So.
Yeah. But I can't see it. I don't know why I can't see it, whereas I should be able to see it myself, and I can't get it out.
Huh.
Which is really weird.
Unless you pop out of the game and pop back in.
I have already done that once, so I'm going to just do it again. Right, let's see if I can find it now. Items. No, I can only find the 2024 one.
But is there any difference?
Well, we got it copied over. You can work on that later.
Yeah, I can work on that later.
Now, at some point, if you could set up some kind of ammunition so we had an ammo tracker.
Yes, I can do that. I'll do that, an ammo tracker.
Yeah, do that downtime.
Now, I'm not. Yeah, I can do that in downtime, and I can actually have it so that when you make the roll, it will reduce the ammunition.
That's what I was
automatically. Yep, I can do that.
But 50 is quite good.
You have 50 shots. The pacifier rod. Okay, so the way the pacifier rod works, I have to get back into my journals.
It likely fails on a 1 or something. On a 1 or something.
ID ascendant.
I did not see a pacifier rod.
Yeah, there should be a pacifier rod as well. The pacifier rod is basically a rod. It sets out a chirp. You push the button. As an action, you can push the button. Where is it? There it is. So it's a 6-inch long black metal rod that has a button on the top. Use an action to press the button and cause the rod to emit a chirp. Any creature within 30 feet of the rod that isn't deafened and has an intelligence of 3 or lower must succeed on a DC 13 Constitution saving throw or be incapacitated for 1 minute. After each activation, however, there is a 25% chance that the rod will break and become inoperable.
Hello,
25%? Wow, that's high.
Yeah, I thought it was 5%. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but running into things like carrion crawlers, other just dumb creatures, push the button. Oh, that's my wife calling. Hang on a second.
There could be an argument that our fighter take it Gilnor because you have action search and you have more could have more than one action.
Take the rod.
Yeah, I think it's ypers situational. And with 25% failure. I mean, if I use it, then it's certain.
Well, you're doing distance. You're going to be distance. I'm going to be up front with you. So if it's got to be within 30 feet, it probably is better if I take.
Yeah, and as I say, you do have action surge. So in a desperate situation where we were confronted by very dumb creatures in large numbers, it might be a good idea. I think a lot of there's a lot of not very good items. I don't know how impressive the pistol. It would depend on the damage and the range.
Well, the range is 40 feet. 40, 120.
40, 20, that does not mean 60. I don't know what the 20 means.
No, 120. 40, 120.
Means
So you can shoot it out to 120 feet, but you'll be at disadvantage.
Yeah, but how long can you shoot it without disadvantage?
40 feet.
40. Okay, 40 and 120. Okay, I understand now. Sorry, I was a little stuck. Yeah. That's... We seemingly never have any fights on very long, but it could be very good.
Sorry, my wife was in a panic. She was at the airport ready to go to this conference and she thought she'd forgotten her medication and I was going to have to rush to her, but she then found it and went, "Oh my God, panic over. You don't have to come. It's fine."
I am totally able to panic in real life, so I must be.
Oh, she was. Oh, her voice like, what's wrong? What's happened? I thought, it's like,
Someone's died.
oh, someone's died. What's happened? And she said, "I think I've got my medication. Can you?" It's like, and then she found it. She went, oh, I just put it in a different pocket. Oh, I didn't put it in my usual spot. I'm so sorry. It's all good. All good.
I sympathize with her on that point.
Yeah. Anyway, so the pacifier rod. It does have 25% chance of breaking. But
Gilnor takes it.
Fair enough. So it's a DC 13 Constitution save. As long as the creature has an intelligence of 3 or lower and isn't deafened, it needs to make that save. And if it doesn't make the save, it is incapacitated for a minute. No other saving throw for that whole minute. It just remains incapacitated. It's not like some of these things which you get stunned and then every round you can make another save to see if you come out of it. This will incapacitate them for the full minute. No further saving throws.
It is potentially very good, but very, very situational.
Yes, situational, and there is that 25% chance that it will break
After
you use it. After you use it, yes.
Okay. So I put a pacifier rod on my sheet, but it's not going to have the attack on the.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I will work that out. I will put something on your sheet for you. I will make note of that now to do the. Wait, turn the page. I need Acheron and Gilnor. Gilnor need the laser pistol. Laser pistol with a ammo tracker. And then I need to do the pacifier rod. And who am I giving that to? Rod. That's for Gilnor. Okay, I will do that for next session. No problems. In the meantime, Vaughn says, well, it's going to take us about an hour to get ready. We could take you back to, what's that town you said? Brimshanda? Would only take us about 20 minutes to get there.
No, we'll just have you leave us here after our trip to the astral plane.
Very good.
We're almost at our destination.
Okay, that's fine. And so it says, well, make yourselves at home, make yourselves comfortable. Please, you can wander around the bottom deck, or but if you stay off the bridge, because we have a lot to do to prepare, we will be busy. You can stay on the foredeck here and keep a, look out over the snow and ice. But we need to prepare a few things now and prepare some things. We shall be on our way.
To the bottom level.
Yep. You can go down to the bottom level. There are those little squidlings that are floating in the air, dragging themselves around on their sort of tendrils, which come from their mouths. They're a bit shy to begin with, but as you, wander around and talk to them, they indeed eventually come out and they'll talk to you, and you can see them. The flesh golem is still standing at the ballista out the front, and just ignores you as it's been told to do so. And about 45 minutes later, you hear, all right, I think everything's set now in your heads. But as you look around, there's nobody here. Obvious that they have the ability to talk to you. And then you feel this sort of low, that high-pitched thrumming that you originally heard when the crystal, it sort of gets lower and lower and lower and deeper and deeper and deeper and a bit slower, and it's sort of like whoomp, whoomp, almost like a really deep harp beat going on. Whoomp, whoomp, whoomp. And then suddenly you feel the and you hear the cracking of ice and snow as the whole ship rocks, and it lifts up into the air, and you see it. You can go out onto the deck and you can have a look, or even just look through the doors. You can see the whole ship rises about 30 feet into the air, and then says, well, hang on. And you get the feeling that the hang on is more of a, you don't need to actually grab anything to hang on. It's more of a get ready for this, here we go. And it sort of rose 30 feet above the snow, and it sort of hovered there. And then it literally just goes, next thing you know, you're looking down, you're at 5,000 feet up in the air. You had no sensation of movement whatsoever. You are just like way up above the landscape within a split second. And the landscape sort of also looks almost wavy, almost like it's in a fog. And then suddenly the landscape starts to get even more foggy and more foggy, and you see these blue tendrils of light flashing and coalescing all over the place. And then the world just disappears, and you for a moment you think, oh my god, it's gone, where are we? And you kind of can then look down and you almost see, it's almost like if you get a bright flash and then you close your eyes, you can see that after flash. You look down and it's almost like you're seeing an after flash of your world, of 10 Towns region, of the area from 5,000 feet above. And Vaughn tells you in your mind, he says, we're currently in the border ethereal. You can see your world kind of exists down there. We could technically even travel through the world, but if we weren't to get all the way through in quick enough time, it would damage us. We would have to normally go around.
That's okay, we don't need to do
So, if we go any further, we could lose sight of your world and therefore not be able to return. So, is there anywhere you want to go? Because we can travel to that place now. Point it to it on the world, or at least tell me, and we'll let you know. If you just want to return to where you were, I can do that.
Yeah, just return us to where we were, please.
All right. And suddenly the ship just seems to drop, and you are heading towards this world, which is like an afterthought, like an after image of the world. It's very incorporeal. It's almost like it's totally intangible. You almost feel like you could reach out and touch it and your hand would go through it. And then suddenly, as you get about 100 feet off the ground, the whole world becomes solid again. And the ground rushes up at you and you think, oh my God. And then just at the last moment, it stops about 30 feet above the ground and then it lowers itself down to the ground again. And says, well, there you go. It's a border ethereal. Interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Thank you.
For the trip.
We were lucky. There were no creatures for us to fight. When we got there, sometimes there are. The border ethereal is full of interesting things. But now let's hope we can navigate back to our homeworld, Earth.
All right. Best of luck to you. I'm gonna hop off.
Yeah, before we leave, you first.
How far down is the drop to this?
It's now 15 feet, but there are the snow looks soft. You could probably jump off and not take any damage.
So if I hung over the edge and then dropped?
Yep.
All right, I'm getting
And you
off
sink into the snow. Obviously, where the ship was, the snow is all being disturbed and it's now very soft. So when you drop down into it, you sink about waist deep into the snow and you take no damage. You can make a nice, beautiful snow angel if you want.
Get out. I'll just crawl out of the fluff.
Yep.
And
Good travels.
And you guys can all crawl out and you say, good travels. They say, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed your stay with us.
And I have something. At the very last moment, I can't find the item, but I will try to not roll low on a d20.
What are you doing?
I'm using my wizard hat. I have succeeded, so I have message. So I say, thank you, goodbye, and good luck. And I'll say that as a message in his head.
Yes. He doesn't seem at all fazed by that. And in fact, he gives you a much longer message back, which seems to go beyond 25 words. And he says, well, thank you very much for joining us. We've really enjoyed having you on board. But we must go back to Earth now, and hopefully we can find our way back there. We don't even know where this particular plane is, but as such, we should be able to find our way back now that we have a working nautiloid. And you realize that he can, while you have sent a message using the message spell, he can communicate with you directly and obviously doesn't need to use message at all to do that. He's communicating into your brain from within the ship without any problems. He has, in fact, got full telepathy. And in fact, now that you think about it, the nautiloid ship seems to have enhanced that telepathy. It's clearer, louder, and much more. Before it was almost a little monotone, but it was there. It was certainly loud enough that you could hear it. But now it seems like crisp and clear. Before it was almost a little like it was down somebody calling down a corridor. There was definitely telepathy, and they could definitely communicate with you. But it was a little bit more removed. But now that the nautiloid seems to have been repaired, all of that seems to be enhanced. And you think the nautiloid itself helps them with their abilities.
Yeah.
They then raise 30 feet into the air, and then you see the ship go almost incorporeal and rise up and into the sky very quickly through the ethereal to the point where it disappears. It is almost ethereal before it disappears. You think that it has itself then entered the border ethereal and then turned and gone right into the ethereal at the last moment and disappears completely, and you are left alone to travel through the snow. And you must indeed get yourselves back to your wagon.
This wagon, mobile hotel.
Yep. You can see the two carrion crawlers ahead of you.
Bodies up.
Or the bodies of. And as you make your way back towards the thing, your cabin, and Elk, you see traveling, you hear some rumbling, and you see traveling this sort of like lump of snow moving from the side, off to the side, back towards your wagon, almost as if there is a creature under the snow.
Uh-oh.
I hallude.
Go get them before they get our elk.
Yep.
And it is running towards the elk, and we'll go straight into initiative. We'll do this last bite. Let me just get the map open. Sorry.
Have no fear. Thrasher, plane shifter, and Nautiloid rider is here.
Elk rider.
Why is that not? Hang on. I've got to get the right creature out. Not copying properly. Hang on.
It's because you are asking for two tough creatures.
We just saw one lump.
Yes, but you're not sure whether there is a second one following along in its trail.
It's either a very long one or a whole family.
Yeah, I just gotta. Where is it now?
Good question.
Sorry, I keep getting the map wrong. There we go. I got the right map now.
Yeah.
There it is. No, this is something different.
Yes,
Carrion crawlers were
We're on the
definitely-
map with the carrion crawler.
Yes, you are on the map with the carrion crawlers. You are now making your way back towards the elk. There is something moving in the snow at the bottom of the ridge, underneath the snow from right to left. I'm going to go initiative now, so give me, let me clear the initiatives first. Remove all turns, clear, and I'm going to add.
A very modest one, so you have to roll low,
There we
you
go,
know.
that's better. Gotta get a high one once in a while.
Yeah,
Yep.
generally a good idea.
What you see ahead of you as you head back towards your wagon is there is something big plowing through the deep snow, heading towards you, and occasionally what you see is this shiny dorsal ridge breaks the surface of the snow, and then slightly behind it and further back is a second one. Everybody can give me a nature roll. Yes, I can see. Yes, I can see your roll.
But nature,
Maybe
that
it's
is
slightly
sort of you.
forward. You guys are actually near the ridge when that happens, so I'm going to move you down to here. You're sort of near where the carrion crawler bodies are. All right. Acheron 12, Gumor 4, Bud 21. What about Thrasher for your nature roll? 13. All right. Between you, you recognize that these are what are called land sharks. They are indeed creatures that you have heard of before. They are known to be very large and massive predators that terrorize lands. Another name for them is boulette.
Andy Graham.
Oh, they're boulette. Oh, lovely.
Yes. And let
Pizza
me
delivery.
order the turn order here. They appear to be one at the last moment, just before we go into initiative. What you see is one veers towards the elk and the other veers towards the carrion crawlers. And they are indeed rushing over.
I'm going to go after the one going for the elk.
Me too.
Okay, so you've noticed this, Acheron. They are kind of under the snow, so they have probably 3/4 cover from you right at the moment, but you could have a shot at them, or at least they seem to be like sharks. They're like almost like dolphins in some way, but imagine them through the snow. They're ploughing underneath the snow, and you can see the ridges of snow. They're completely undercover, and then they come up and you see these large dorsal fin type of ridges, dorsal ridges, so you can sort of see 2/3 of the monster, or about 1/3 of the monster, as it sort of comes up above the ground, and then it dives back into the snow, and you could shoot at it while it sort of comes up and take an action to do that if you wish. All right, give me they are currently over here.
I don't see them on the turn order.
You don't. On the turn order? They are on the turn order. I will put them on the map now.
They're on GM.
Yeah, they're on the GM layer. I'll put them both on the map now. But you see that they're still diving through the snow, so they have 3/4 cover from you. Acheron 23 still is going to hit even with 3/4 cover. Only just though. You need a 22 to hit them when they've got 3/4 cover.
Can I?
Yes.
Hunter's mark.
Yes, you can. Yep. So 13, 18 points all up.
So the one
now, which one are you shooting at? That's the one going towards the elk, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Got to save the elk first. Your reindeer elk, yes. All right. So that's your first shot. Do we have a second one? 14, however, is not going to cut it, as it just dives into the snow again as you loose your bow and the arrow disappears underneath the snow but does not hit anything. Yes, could infuse the first strike. Two bullets. What are they rated against poison? Nothing. Okay. Big 1 point.
Myself a dot for the hunter.
Yep, I can do that. I can actually put the concentration thing on you. Yeah, there is a specific concentration thing, which is that one. No, that's stunned. Which is this one. Go. Yes, I don't know why it's a cup, but it is. I just know it is.
That's your thing.
Yeah, no, that's the one that Roll20 gave me, so I just use it. I would have a better one, but I just haven't bothered changing it. All right, so you are concentrating on your hunter's mark. Anything else, Acheron?
No, I'm actually on.
Yep, can move closer.
Actually, you can fly. So wherever they're heading,
Yeah, they're sort of. Okay, let me
and I
draw
want
a
him
couple
to
of
be.
lines.
I suppose he's got to go up as well. So
This
considering
one is
he was
heading
already
in
up
this
here.
direction,
Sorry.
and this one is heading directly towards these.
How high up?
It's 10 feet.
So goes there. He's up.
Yes, you can be above them. Hopefully out of their reach. Yep.
All right.
All right, Gilnor, what are you doing?
Alright.
I'll get rid of those masks. Now you know where they're going.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to hold the dead on the one going towards the elk.
Yep.
Why did that
Yep.
happen?
That. I don't know why that happened. It should give you the damage as well.
There is no damage at all. Okay.
Don't know why.
Very odd. Let me try it this way. I don't.
No.
That
What
isn't-
is?
That's weird.
That is weird. Let me put your character sheet what's going on there. It should be there. Character sheet, Gilnor. Gilnor. Back. All the dead.
Could be 1d8.
1d12. Where is it? All the dead. Not in there. I don't know why. Damage. Okay, the damage. Is it 1d8 or is it 2d8 at this level?
1d8 because I'm only at first level.
Oh, 1d8. Okay, and then damage 2 is 1d12. Does it add your wisdom or is it just a straight roll?
Well,
Cantrip
it's
scale with
simple.
cantrip scale with total level, not with the
Yes, total spell casting level.
Oh, okay. Well, then what would I be?
So you're a 3rd level spellcaster.
okay, yeah.
I think you have to be 5th or something before.
Yeah,
That's
I think
one or
it's
2 level. That's a level too low, yeah.
Yeah, when you reach
it's
5th level. Okay, so I'm not yet.
Okay, so it's just 1d12, 1d8 for Toll the Dead. All right, that should now work.
Because I've got one up above.
There you go.
Says
It did work.
2d8,
You can
2d12.
roll it again. Sorry?
I've
You've
got
got
another
one
one up there that says 2d8, 2d12.
You do.
Why?
And why do you?
I think it is not spellcaster level, but character level.
So was that one was already injured, right?
Yes, it was.
11.
Let me just have a look here what it said. Toll the Dead. Oops. I meant to stop. One of the creatures.
A level 1 fighter should be able to get the goods.
Yes. Overall level, it doesn't say. Doesn't matter. I'll work that out later, but let's give it a save anyway. It is a wisdom saving throw. It saves, so it doesn't take any damage. It's mute whether it's 2d8. Oh, it got 16. Oh, it didn't. Oh, yes, it doesn't show the roll. Let me fix that again. Because I had to shut down the system. Always roll advantage. Bubble on. I restarted it a couple of times. Let me try that again. Saving throw. That one failed, but I did get a pass beforehand. I got a 16, so it does come up now.
Alright,
So he doesn't take any damage from that. What else are you going to do?
I have the more magic. Trying to can I shoot with a heavy crossbow after using a cantrip?
You've got war
You
magic.
make one
so
weapon attack. One weapon
Yes.
attack is a bonus attack. Okay,
Yes,
then
you can.
I will do that with my, but it's got 3/4 coverage, right?
Yes, at the moment.
Well, I didn't get Okay, I did my best.
All right, you shoot. It doesn't do anything. All right. This boulette comes flying out of the ground because you have shot at it.
These things burrow.
They do. They can burrow through the earth as well as the snow. And they are pretty quick. And seeing as you shot at it, it dives down underneath the ground and burrows and comes leaping out of the ground almost on top of you.
Get a
No, because it's underneath. It burrows underneath the ground. Yeah, and it does a deadly leap. Each creature succeeds on a DC 16 strength or dexterity saving throw, your choice, will be knocked prone and take. Oh, it didn't roll it properly. Let me just that. Take 3d6 plus 4.
Well, obviously, I'm not prone to damage.
Yep. Oops.
I can't
I'll
click
get
on
the
my
damage. Bludgeoning damage plus another slashing damage. Okay, let's reroll that deadly leap. The damage you take is 26 points as it knocks you prone. Knocking you prone.
Off of me.
Yeah, sorry. I'll put it beside you. It's actually on top of you. It's actually standing right over the top of you. It sort of leapt out, knocked you to the ground, and is now landed on top of you. And as such, it is then going to bite you with advantage for 31 more points of damage.
done so much damage. Can I ask?
Yes.
It's got to jump at least feet.
It's got to move at least 15 feet. If it jumps 15
have
feet
to
as
jump.
part of its movement. Well, yes. So it was close enough. I did the measurement. It jumped out of the ground, probably it buried it. It literally moved from here, and it came out of the ground here, and then leapt over the top of thing. Yeah, and it's got enough movement to do that. As a surprise, sort of like a deadly leap jumping attack. They are incredibly powerful creatures.
Really value these out, don't we, guys?
Yeah. Well, you shot at that one, so it decided that it didn't like you because you shot at it and you tried to hurt it, and so it just came at you. Thrasher, what are you doing?
Raging.
Raging and rushing forward. This thing is standing over the top of Gilnor, biting down and trying to rip him apart. It's like, it's like a big dog. What do you know about these creatures? Their intelligence is not very high. you think their intelligence would definitely be below 3. Hint, hint.
Yeah, I know. I caught the hint.
19.
The subtle
Okay.
hint. I caught the subtle hint.
But now you are mobbing him for character intelligence.
Yeah, sorry.
Does a 19 hit?
The first one missed and the 19 does hit. They seem to be fairly well armored. That hide is very thick, has chitinous layers over the outside, but 19 breaks through that, and you give it some damage, as it is also hurt by that. Soffit. Bud, what are you doing?
Yeah, doing something.
Now, did that? No, you raged, didn't you?
Yes.
So I have to take another 2 points off for the rage.
Round 1 or round 2?
This is round 1 still.
Oh, then on can't.
2
This
points
is
off.
my first action in the round.
Yep.
So,
The other bullet hasn't even acted yet.
So I'll throw fireball at level 4. Can I hit them all? Can I hit them both?
It hit
You would
on.
also hit Owly and you would hit Om.
Yeah, but we deal with that
You've got
later.
sculpted. You've got sculpt, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
So technically, yes, you can hit them both, and you can sculpt the fireball around both. You think this one here is definitely going to take the full brunt of the fireball because it's out on the surface, standing over Gilnor. The other one is still 3/4 buried in the snow, and you think that it will be resistant to the fire because of the fact that it is 3/4 buried in the snow. So I'm going to make the saves separately.
We take as the best offer available.
And wow, 32 points of damage. It does not save. This one does not save and takes 32. This one, I'm going to give it advantage on the save and resistance because of the snow that it's in. Well, it's saved without the advantage anyway. So 32, that is 16, which is 8 points of damage.
Yeah, and I'll send Owly to assist against the closest one to me.
Yep.
And that's my turn.
Thank you. All right. The fireball goes off, severely damages both bullet, well, one bullet, and only just singes the skin of the other one. Anything else, Bud? You've got to hit your tick.
No. Yeah, but I can't find it. Can you hit it for me?
Yep, I'll do it. There you go. The other bullet comes rising up out of the ground where it is and pounces on Om with its deadly leap. You can give me a strength or dexterity saving throw for Om.
Oh, okay.
You fail, take 22 points of damage, and you are knocked prone.
No? Like 45 hit.
Oh, it says 20 on the screen for me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, damn it.
No, that's wrong. That is way wrong. He's got like 45. He should be
It
45.
says 45 on his character sheet.
Yeah. It's why, because I haven't linked it, just in case.
Well,
So
I'm
now
in
I'll set it
OM,
up.
so you need
There
to
you
take
go.
me out of OM as well.
Oh, right, yes. Okay. I've got to do that.
That's the only reason I can see it is because I'm in OM.
So you take 22 points. You are knocked prone. So let me put the prone on you, and I've got to put prone on you, Gilnor. Prone on you as well. And then it will try and bite you with advantage. 25 will hit, or 22 more points of damage. So that is a total of 44 points of damage.
Ooh.
One hit point left.
Hey, Fad. Hey, Fad.
Yeah.
I forgot to do my lightning damage.
Oh, okay. Yep. Do your lightning damage. I'll allow that. You always do it, and we just forget. You do have your Storm Aura on.
Yep, it's always
So
on.
just, yep. So let me do the save. It is it a dex save? Yes, it is a dex save. And they fail and take 3 more points. Okay.
That's right.
Could make a difference.
All right. It didn't kill it, but it does. It could make the difference between the next hit killing it and not. So,
Yeah.
but that is that bullet's turn. It is now out in the open on top of Om, who only has 1 hit point left. And looking very injured and sickly. Acheron, what are you doing?
Alright. Tom's going to.
The good thing is Om might be prone, but is not grappled.
Although in good faith, Om was flying, so if knocked him out of the air
Yes.
to make him prone, he may have taken damage.
No, I'm going to say that he wasn't high enough up to take more damage, so don't worry. Yeah.
Right.
We'll forget.
He's gonna stand up.
Not going to disengage, because if he gets hit again, he's definitely going to die.
Right, I can bring him back. Yeah,
You can. Okay. Well, he doesn't have the pack tactics, so unfortunately that's a miss. Doesn't manage to get purchase on that thick hide, but Om will stand up, so I will take the prone off Om.
And he's at least still a target.
Yes, he is.
Would I know if I'm in by now? Would I know if I'm within striking? I mean, these guys. I want to move back. So.
You don't. It doesn't look like they've got much more than the 5 feet range. They're not like the carrion crawlers with those long tendrils on the front of them, which have a bit of reach. They are more just big mouths, which they have to literally chomp down onto somebody next to them. And that standing leap that they do, if they knock somebody prone, gives them a bonus attack of a bite. Otherwise, they don't get it. Yeah. You run back there, and are you going to shoot? And longbow. All right. 18 is just a hit, yes. And I'm guessing you're hitting the one on Gilnor?
Yes, sorry.
All right. What is that? That is 19 points of damage. Yep. And you miss, unfortunately. And that one and a nat 20. Very often that happens. As you miss with your second shot, the arrow flies wide. If you'd hit, possibly you could have killed it, but no. Anything else? No?
Oh. No, I'm not going to. That's fine, that's me done.
You've already done a bonus action Hunter's Mark anyway, so you couldn't have done.
Oh, I'd already had.
No, that was the.
Yeah, because I'm concentrating.
Oh, yeah, you did it for last round. Yes, you're concentrating. Yes. So you had that. So you did have a bonus action. Gilnor, what are you doing? You're going to stand up, or are you going to stay on the ground?
Do I risk
Do you want to risk using the rod? You know that it's not going to affect anybody else.
Right, but he's almost dead.
Higher. Yes.
He's almost
but
dead.
It will also incapacitate the other one for 1 minute.
Yeah. It does a lot of damage. Alright, fine. I'll hit the button.
Alright. It is a new toy. Both of them can do a group check. And it is a Constitution saving throw.
They got high con.
Yeah, but look what I rolled.
What's the
both
what's
of
the
them.
DC?
DC is. Let me just check my descendant. The DC is. Find it. Pacify rod. DC is 13.
Okay.
And I'll give you the details of that on the rod for next time. Roll me percentage dice, please.
Percentage die.
D100s. You'll find that the rod does not break.
That's fine.
All right, but they're both incapacitated.
But both collapse to the ground incapacitated.
Oh, so advantage to hit.
Yes.
Would it advantage or would it be an auto crit?
It's advantage to hit and automatic crit if you do hit.
Okay. And then I'm going to crawl out 15 feet and stand up.
Yep.
Because he's probably laying on top of me, more or less.
He is kind of laying on top of you, but you can indeed crawl out and get away from them. Now they are incapacitated for a whole minute. What do you want to do? You've crawled out and you get 15 feet away. Anything else?
Yeah. No, I'm not going to. Alan.
All right. The bullet, being incapacitated, is unable to do anything. They are unable to take reactions or actions. It doesn't say they cannot move.
Incapacitated.
According to the rules, an incapacitated creature can't take actions or reactions. That's the only thing that it cannot do. So it cannot attack you, it cannot take even bonus actions or any reaction if it had it, but it can move. So it will, both of them, well, this one is that, that is that one. It burrows into the ground.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
Yeah, because it can't take action, so it can't even disengage. So yes, you can get an attack of opportunity against it.
Wouldn't burrowing be an action?
Burrowing is not an action, it's movement, because it can burrow naturally. It's part of its movement.
All right, hit the structure and kill it.
Yeah, but you can get the attack of opportunity as it tries to dive into the snow and ground again, and run away. It can't do anything else.
How about that?
Yeah, that'll do. How many points do you do? Because it hasn't got many left, but it might be
Well,
enough. Oh, wait, you're raging, aren't you?
Yes. And
All right.
It was a crit.
No, actually, because
I had advantage.
You said it was auto crit if you had advantage. Actually.
yeah, I thought it was also had no movement, but it doesn't. I was
okay.
wrong about the incapacitated. Sorry.
All right, so 9 points.
Incapacitated. So 9 points. You know how many hit points it had left?
9.
9.
9.
They always have 9.
I don't know. As it
9.
tries to burrow into the ground to run away, because it can't do anything else, you slash out at it and cleave it in two, and it bleeds out on the ground. That's all it can do. Thrasher, there is the other one.
And I switched.
You can, because that was your reaction.
Oh, that's right.
So you can now move and try and get the other one. Now you don't have advantage against it, but
this mouse sucks.
It was going for the carrying crawl. Do with it.
Yeah, it must have changed its mind because.
Well, no, this one here changed its mind when you attacked it. This one was going for the carrion crawlers to begin with.
18.
18 is a hit, not an automatic crit, unfortunately. I got it wrong. I thought incapacitated also meant
9 points.
It's unconscious. 9 more points. Yeah, 9 points. Sorry, not 9 more. This one's got 9 points. So it takes the 9 points. All right.
Oh, good one. 15. 17.
Another
points.
15. 17 points. Yep, another 17 points. What we should do with your character sheet, we should have a rage on there. You can turn on and off. Yes, rage damage. You tick the box there next to rage damage, and it will add it automatically.
Yeah, but I'm on D&D Beyond still.
Oh, you're on oh, yes, you are using D&D Beyond.
I'm a diehard.
Yeah. I thought you said you were going to swap over to using the old 20 sheets.
I was.
Right.
I did for one game, and it rolled just as shitty. So.
Of course, it's going to roll.
All right. All right. Anything else from Thrasher then?
Nope. I guess that's it.
Nope. All right.
Damn, this mouse.
Your tick, and then it is Bud's turn. What is?
Can you hit my tick?
I'll do it.
My
Bud,
mouse is all over the place.
Yeah, we'll
That's
toll
all right.
the dead.
You're going to toll the dead on it.
Yeah, did it work?
Let me just see. Let me do a save, a wisdom save. They're not very wise, but you never know. No, they're not wise enough, as it takes 15 points of necrotic damage as your bells ring out. Ding! And it sort of shakes its head.
That's all good. We'll send Auli to assist. That was my turn.
Okay.
I can find my tick this time.
You can. Awesome. In that case, it is the Boulette's turn, and the Boulette is simply going to try and dive into the ground and run away. And that will allow both Thrasher and Om. Because you had another turn, Thrasher, you now have another reaction. You may attack it. It doesn't get to disengage. It cannot take that action. Yes, that is definitely a hit from the bite. How much damage do you do? 11 points. That's decent. And what about Thrasher?
I'm trying to get my mouse to move. There it is.
If he hits, will infuse.
Yep. Unfortunately, that is not a hit. As it dives into the ground and disappears under the snow, and you can see the ridge of snow, but it's not breaching the surface like it was last time. It's slowly, the ridge gets smaller and smaller and smaller as it's obviously burrowing down deep into the earth to try and get away, because it take movement but no actions or reactions. And it
win and lose, and
running away.
I'm not sure we are getting experience in any useful way from killing. So let us go back to the 10 towns and go on with our business.
No, you're not going back to 10 towns. You're carrying on.
We are saving any more ranger explorers that get out.
Yep, there is one less monster they have to deal with. Let me put you back on to the overall map. By the time you have gotten out of the where are you? You're down here. By the time you've gotten out of the Ideas End and fought the bullets and stuff, you think it has been the best part of a whole day since you've left Grimshander. It was late in the day that you came across the ID Ascendant. You spent a couple of hours working on it. They did say it would take about an hour or so to fix once you'd done it. Then you went out into the ethereal plane. and came back, time there seems to go a little differently. And by the time you come back and fight the bullets, it is actually time for you to make camp for the night. Yeah.
Can we at least travel away from this area because in case that
You
bullet
could,
comes back?
you could probably go a good 500 feet or so before and get away. So just in case they come back to search for the carrion crawler or the downed bullet, you would be far enough away that they wouldn't know you were there necessarily. Maybe even a K or so down the track. And you can head back towards the river, which you over there like this, where you
And
will
do we get a
now
long
then,
rest?
yes, and everybody can get a long rest as you are back on the river and about to continue almost to its head. During the night, we'll quickly go through this. 2:42, so we need to finish soon. During the night, as you are resting, you're all resting up nicely. There is a knock on the door.
Who is it?
Say the secret password.
The secret password.
Yes.
We recognize the voice.
You think you do. But it is a little muffled through the door and there is a bit of wind howling, so you're not quite 100% sure, but you think you do recognize the voice.
Hacker on the repeat. Who is it?
And they say, I've just got to figure out how to pronounce their name. Once I get it back up. It is... where is it?
I hope we don't lose an elk.
No, it's... no, you don't. You're not losing an elk. I can't find their name.
It's a hard to pronounce name.
Here it is.
Probably a dragon.
And from the script.
It's Omuratuk.
Oh.
Omuratuk. Oyamuratuk.
Open the door.
And before you see a Goliath standing a full 9.5 feet tall, and you recognize the markings. And she says, what brings you out here?
Martial business, as usual. What brings you out here?
Well, as you know, I am a wanderer of the regions of Pentowns. I was fishing on the river when I saw your tracks, followed them.
And you are most welcome.
We were
It's the middle of the night. It's the middle of the night, and this Omuratuk, as you know, is the werebear, Goliath werebear that you had met right up here at the Black Cabin. They had helped you when you were there to go through the Black Cabin. In fact, they had told you all to go outside while they tried to do something, and you saw an explosion in which they had taken quite a bit of damage. I said, it's safe now, even though they were almost smoking from the explosion and damage that they had taken. She seems in very good health and fine without any problems. It doesn't seem to be even worried too much by the fact that it is absolutely bitterly cold outside and there is a driving wind and sleet coming across the way. And she says, I should come inside and close the door if that's okay. Not let this cold weather in.
Yes, it is.
And she comes inside and she sits down. She sort of ducks her head to come in because she's 9.5 feet tall. And she sits down on the floor and says, so, We meet again. I'm surprised to see you down here. It's a long way from the cabin.
We get around all over this age.
I have heard stories. Many people and animals tell me what is going on. I've done well. Where is it that you are headed now?
Up in the mountain, our fortress. We're headed that direction when we got sidetracked rescuing some travelers. And then we're attacked by land sharks. So now resting from that encounter.
Yes. The mountains are full of land sharks. They're a dangerous place. But you are obviously a little bit more experienced than when we last met. I'm sure you are capable of dealing with them.
Yeah, but they run away.
Ah, yes. Yes. They like a quick, easy meal. If it is too difficult, they do tend to run. I'm not the easiest of meals. So, I had heard there was some Duergar down here, which is part of the reason I was here.
That's the reason we are here.
Whereabouts do you think they are located?
Do we have a map?
You do have a map, and you can show in the map.
I'll pull out the map. Well, we think they're right about here.
And you pointed out on the map. And he goes, headed up that valley yet. Well, I will be nearby. And she says,
More than welcome to join.
oh, I think you will be fine. I will be nearby should you need some help. Here, you may simply call using this, and hands you a stone.
Like a sending stone?
Yep.
Okay.
And you now have a sending stone.
What's
She said,
what's
all
the
you
range
need
of
to
it?
do is say my name and I shall hear you and we will be able to talk.
What's the range on a sending stone?
Oh, it's
It's
Like
says,
anywhere.
if you are on the same plane of existence as I am, then you can contact me.
Excellent.
Extraordinary. Thank you very much. Yeah, would you have something to use?
I have some other things to look at here in the spine, but I will be nearby. I shouldn't take too long to be able to get to you should you need assistance. Just let me know.
Very good.
Really appreciate that.
Do you mind if I slept the night here with you and
No,
part ways in the morning? Very good
We're
then.
happy to have you over here.
I bid you all good night. And with that, she then as she's sitting on the floor, she brings out this small cauldron and casts a spell, and it's suddenly filled with food. And she takes a sip, and she says, "If you have a cup, I can give you some." And this beautiful, hot, brothy. The cauldron is only about as big as Omniratuk's hand. It's almost like just a cupful of things, but she's taken a big, long sip, and it still looks full. And,
well, I've got a mess kit. I'm sure I've got some kind of a cup in the mess.
Oh yeah, if you've got a bowl. So if you've got a mess kit, she fills your bowl, and when she ups the cauldron up right again, it's still full. It's almost like a never-ending meal. And she can feed each of you a good, warm, hearty stew. It's only a vegetable stew. It's not a meat stew, which is interesting, considering you would think that werebears would eat meat. But this is a very hearty vegetable stew. And she finishes and eats until she's had enough. And then she gives the bowl, like the cauldron, the tiny cauldron, a bit of a shake, and suddenly it's empty. And then she wipes it out with a rag and puts it back in her pocket. And you can all eat a nice hearty meal. And then she says, "Good night." And next thing you know, you're waking up and it is morning. It's almost as if you were all enchanted to sleep for the night nice and safely and get the best night's sleep you've had in a long time. You didn't feel the cold, the wind didn't disturb you, there was nothing. It was as if you were resting on a cloud of pillows for the night, and you wake up, you feel absolutely refreshed, more so than normal.
Yeah, it
And she
feels
says,
like inspiration.
absolutely. It's not inspiration, but it is certainly the best night's sleep you've had. You get that it was some sort of magical sleep and doesn't imbue you with anything else, and it doesn't give you anything else besides what a normal long rest was, except for the fact that you're at peace with the world. And in the morning, she's already awake by the time you wake up, and she's packing up her things. And as you wake up, she says, "Well, been lovely seeing you again. I must be off." And she opens the door and walks out and disappears down into the forest
Bye bye.
before
Take
you
care.
can do anything.
I need her to come visit me.
Yeah. Yeah. And with that, I'm going to leave it here. It is now nearly 3 o'clock. And you can head off towards Sunblight and the location that you think tomorrow and, well, next game, but as in this morning when you wake up, you can head towards Sunblight. You think that, given where you think its location is, you should arrive there by lunchtime. Or maybe just a little after lunch. But we will leave that for next session. Thank you very much for playing. I hope you enjoyed that. It was a little bit different.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I got some cool stuff, cool toys.
Yeah, yeah. I will
Yeah.
fix those character sheets now. I don't know why. I'm going to have to log out of Roll20 completely, I think, and log back in to get it to work, because I've tried just restarting Roll20 quickly, and for whatever reason, I can only get the 2024 rule books. Don't have the 2014 rules coming up, which is odd. Should be giving me both. Yeah, considering you guys have got it. Oh, you've managed to drop it on? I haven't.
And I've dropped it on and I do have a quick question while I remember.
Yes.
I know we changed time for us, daylight saving.
Yes.
When does daylight saving?
Yeah, when does your daylight savings change? I think ours is not for
We don't
another.
have it. We voted against it, so we're very happy.
Oh, you're not in daylight savings. Yeah, so I'll just look it up. Daylight savings.
Oh,
Ending.
so part of Australia does it, part of Australia doesn't.
Yeah.
Right? March
Yeah, we're
9th.
3 hours away. We're like thousands of each other. So.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll be Monday, March 10th for you.
No, 6th of April. Yep, Sunday the 6th of April is when it changes.
Yeah, but that is also the problem for me. I don't. Europe don't
And
change.
I think
the
yours
same
is
day.
on March 10th. Yeah.
Mine is on March 10th. Well, it'll be March 10th for you, Monday, March 10th. It'll be Sunday, March 9th for us.
Yeah. Yeah. So on March 10th, you guys change. And then on April 6th, we change. So what that will mean is that on March 10th, start time will go from 12 my time to 11 my time because of your change. And then on the 6th of April, it will drop back to 10 my time to maintain the US time, same start time for the US.
Okay. As long as you got a handle on it, we're good.
March
You
10th.
can just
Yeah.
remind us like when it comes
Yeah.
up. Otherwise, I'll
Yeah,
end
we
up being
will.
an hour
March
late.
10th.
Yeah.
We will. We will.
Yeah, we will. I'll keep
It's a
a
season
note
away.
of it.
But it
I
is
realised
annoying.
after 2 weeks away how much.
All right, I'm out, guys.
Yeah, but we miss
Thanks
you.
very much. See you next week.
Yep.
Nice
See
having
ya.
you back.
See you next week. Have a good weekend, everybody, and I will catch you all next time.
back in '59 on a teletype machine. Paper tape was rolling, gaming's first big dream. From pixels to consoles, you've played them all. Every dungeon crawl, every boss made to fall. Joysticks, dice roll, strategies tight. Gaming all day and laughing all night. Oh, Ergo Iron Fist, the legend of the screen. Rolling crits and breaking bits since gaming first was seen. From tabletop to pixel wars, you've conquered every quest. Retired but still wired, gaming at your best. D&D Master, board game king, every genre's yours, just pick a thing. Old school roots, but the skills still fly, wrecking noobs while sipping chai. Joysticks, dice roll, strategies tight, gaming all day and laughing all night. Oh, Ergo Iron Fist,
Loading basic yet again from teletype.
rolling crits and breaking bits since gaming first was seen. From tabletop to pixel wars, you've conquered every quest. Retired but still wired.
Welcome back.
Gaming
We
at
have
your
finished the
best.
restoration of our 8-bit ASR 33 teletype. In the previous 9 episodes, we've fixed just about everything, as pretty much nothing was working.
A lifetime of gaming with a champion.
So, Ergo Iron Fist, forever young at heart. Gaming's in your blood, yeah, it's a work of art. The legend lives on, controller in hand. Laughing, adventuring, life grand.
In this video, we're going to load 4K Basic into an Altair 8800 using a teletype and the paper tape reader on the teletype. And this is a remake of a video I did about 6 months ago.
Iron Fist, forever young at heart. Gaming's in your blood, yeah, it's a work of art.